What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Truspace. This is Heru, and today we're going to be going through our weekly horoscope. And we're going to be doing this weekly horoscope from the 7th of February all the way to the 13th of February 2022. So on Monday, the 7th of February 2022, the theme of the day is going to be stabilizing or valuing our association. And this is why I say this. The moon is going to be in Taurus, conjuncting Uranus in Taurus, and we understand the moon deals with our emotional reaction, what you're reacting to, and the moon being in Taurus is exalted in Taurus. So we're going to be heavily emotionally reacting towards receiving, internalizing fixated earth. We're looking for values, assets, money, material possessions that we could value and things of that nature. This is where our emotion is. And the moon being exalted in Taurus naturally, this is gonna make us really become emotional, reactive towards our values, our assets, our money, and things of that nature. But that conjunction with Uranus, which is falling right now in Taurus, meaning that Uranus is having a very hard time to bring that originality, to bring those abrupt changes, those uniqueness, that left-hand field path when it comes to achieving fixated earth. How are we going to receive our material, our possession, our earning ability, our assets? Taurus deals with the five senses, everything you could touch physically. This is why they like to say Tauruses are foodie or sensual by nature, because they really love Venus, since they're ruled by Venus, and which make them chase after things they could touch, value, feel, and things of that nature. But this is the same energy that could get you lost. The Venus, the five-pointed star, when you utilize it too much, when you love, appreciate, indulge too much, the five-pointed star gets inverted, then becomes the Baphomet, Lucifer. So now you become a slave towards your indulgences, your desires, all those Luciferian concepts. But it's really about how do you handle your virtues and principles. Do you overindulge, or are you balanced, and things of that nature. So Uranus in Taurus, it brings the heavy energy almost of being scared, nervous, acceleration, quantum acceleration, things moving too fast, and it could be quite scary considering that the North Node is in Taurus right there beside Uranus in Taurus. So the moon in Taurus conjuncting Uranus in Taurus, that's a heavy emotional reactions, which could be nervous too to a certain extent because of the unknown path we're walking into, all dealing with how we're going to achieve or receive that fixated practicality, that money, those assets, those things that make us feel comfortable, which is very important for our health, since Taurus, the second house, could play out as, actually it plays out as a hormonal system or endocrine system. So when you know what you value, you chase after what you value, and you don't chase after what you don't value, which plays an important role when it comes to your hormonal system, because your hormonal system towards the second house is all about stabilizing your body. It's all about making your body feel, creating homeostasis in your body to make sure your body's in good health. The moon in Taurus is going to be also squaring the sun and Saturn in Aquarius, which are right now kind of conjuncting each other as the sun moves through the Aquarius house while Saturn stays there for a while. Saturn likes to stay in a house for a while Helios or Apollo likes to move around through that zodiac wheel circle and come back around with new downloads, new learning experiences. This is where you get the allegory of the sun going in cycle. Then they create the whole snake eating its own tail, because that's what the sun is doing over and over again. So either way, that the sun conjuncting Saturn brings almost like a reality check to our new point of views, what we're paying attention to, what actions we're taking on, and our action and what we're paying attention to is right now dealing with externalizing, pushing out, being fixated, and being determined with connecting, analyzing our association, our abstract thought, for the sake of being inventive and for the sake of being original, aka learning how to be a unique individual among other unique individuals. That's what Aquarius is really good at. This is why it plays through them, as them wanting to create different groups for different things and things of that nature. But with the square with with the square to the moon in Taurus, us emotionally reacting heavily towards our fixated stability and what makes sense, is going to create learning experiences for us to bring that new point of view. What Saturn is teaching us to being responsible, mature, responsibility, learn how to create a structure, containment, limitation when it comes to these radical ideas, these abstract ideas, when it comes to our association and things of that nature. Saturn brings a reality check to our point of view, which is currently the sun traveling through the Aquarius house. So I really like this. Just make sure that you know which houses that you have those things happening in, because you don't only need to want to know the transit, you actually want to know which area of life is going to happen. And this is actually how you understand astrology much more better. But also the moon in Taurus is going to be trining Venus and Mars in Capricorn. So while we're emotionally reacting to obviously receiving that fixated stability to make ourselves feel comfortable, that will create opportunity for our love matter, our desires, what we indulge in, and our passions, actions, and even what we like to command. All Venus and Mars are right now working very hard to help you initiate that business plan, that infrastructure that you would like to receive, helping you become more strict, helping you create more limitation, restrictions, and boundaries so you could actually go work hard. This is almost the energy of love what you do, appreciate it, but also work hard and be passionate about it. So I actually really like this with the trine to the moon in Taurus. They will create opportunity for us to emotionally react towards receiving that fixated stability, and that's what will work very well. So on Tuesday the 8th of February, the theme of that day is going to be analyzing our association, because we start with stabilizing, valuing our association. So now right now we're going to be analyzing, communicating when it comes to our association. The moon is going to be in the late degrees of Taurus, going to Gemini, conjuncting the North Node in Taurus. And we understand what the North Node does. The North Node deals with our spiritual path. It deals with what we are trying to detach from when it comes to our South Node, because it's in Scorpio. So what we're heading towards when it comes to our spiritual path is dealing with achieving material wealth. It comes to achieving our assets, how we're going to receive that fixated stability to make ourselves feel comfortable. And I know a lot of people are feeling this energy because Uranus is right there with in Taurus also. But that conjunction with the moon in late degrees of Taurus and Gemini, we're gonna be obviously emotionally reacting towards receiving fixated stability, but it's gonna have a hint of energy of Gemini. We're gonna be more communicative. We're gonna be more flexible, adaptable when it comes to externalizing our communication. We're gonna be utilizing our Gemini energy. And how you do that is taking one thought and looking at it from multiple angles. This is why Geminis like to communicate and hear everybody's ideas and things of that nature. But with that conjunction is gonna really make you emotionally react towards your spiritual path, dealing with achieving that material wealth, with the hint of the energy of Gemini, starting to communicate about these things, starting to analyze these things, analyze your association, the people you've been connected to during the whole month of Aquarius. The moon is going to be in the late degree of Taurus, opposing the South Node in Scorpio. So the moon is, while it's going to go through the late degrees of Taurus, at some point we're going to be obviously emotionally reacting towards receiving fixated stability, but it's going to be opposing, which is going to create adding opportunity, even though it's going to be difficult when it comes to detaching from our past animalistic natures, dealing with fixated water, some determined, rooted, stubborn emotions that we hold on to when it comes to our 8th house, behind the scene realm, that we need to let go of so we can go towards our spiritual path, dealing with our values, our material wealth, how we're going to stabilize ourselves. On Wednesday, it's going to be around the same theme of the day, because the moon takes almost like 2 days to move from one sign to another sign. So this is why it's going to be still dealing with the energy of analyzing and communicating with our association from Tuesday all the way to Wednesday. So the moon is going to be in the early degrees of Gemini. This is when we're really going to be externalizing, pushing out flexible, adaptable ways of communicating, analyzation, and things of that nature to connect with people on the mental thought realm, the air realm. The air realm deal with our thoughts, ideas, masculine thoughts. And in that realm, we construct ideas, we come up with thoughts, we create ways to approach things. We like to call the air realm the heavens. When you spend a lot of time in heaven, this is when you could get really airheaded, but you need to spend sometimes in the heavens if you want to have good amount of thoughts, very well structured ideas so you could bring them into reality. This is what they say, bring heaven to earth. So we're gonna be emotionally reacting towards Gemini energy, communicating and whatnot. But it's gonna be sextile in Carrier and Aries. And Carrier and Aries right now, the wounded healer is healing our sense of self, our sense of asserting ourselves, our sense of who am I, because a lot of us could have got our childhood, we may have felt like we don't have sense of self, we don't have sense of expression, we don't know how to take action and things of that nature. And depending on which house you have it in, is gonna be the area of life you're trying to heal and things of that nature. Right now, Carrion in Aries is my 5th house, so I'm trying to heal my pleasures, my social life, my the area of the children, creativity, dealing with self-expression, jumping on the stage. And the moon in early degree Gemini, I believe it's gonna be in my, actually I don't know, I gotta check my chart to know that for sure. But we obviously our emotional reaction deal with more communicative, analyzing based, like a Gemini mind. This is what gives them the genius quality of being curious and being almost the jack of all trade. That's gonna see an opportunity, a sextile, to help us deal with all this fire, dealing with healing ourselves, because sometimes fire stays stagnant and doesn't know how to move. So with the energy of Gemini, the air element, this is gonna help us to direct our fire. It's gonna help us to become more mutable and things of that nature. The moon in Gemini is gonna be also squaring Jupiter and Pisces. So while we're emotionally reacting to pushing out, externalizing, flexible, adaptable ways of communicating, analyzing, and things of that nature, that's gonna go through major learning opportunity with Jupiter and Pisces, because Jupiter represents our third eye, and our third eye, Jupiter, right now wants to expand when it comes to our subconscious realm, with the understanding the whole collective. What is the collective going through? Because Pisces energy deal with the whole collective swimming in almost this emotional bubble. You don't have to know people to feel them necessarily, but if they're going through something, you can understand, you could feel it, you could utilize that, the Pisces energy of learning how to be more flexible, adaptable when it comes to your emotion, and learn how to see from other people's emotion, trying to understand other people's feelings. This is what makes Pisces compassion, but also this is what makes Pisces go far out when it comes to emotion and feelings, trying to understand people. So Jupiter right now is expanding the realm of the subconscious realm, the realm of Jupiter wants you to achieve, learn, even you might even want to go in excess, but be careful right there, because Jupiter rules Pisces. You could end up giving too many meaning and reasoning to your dreams and illusions, which could get you to lost in the dream emotional realm. Just be careful of that. You want to expand and learn about your dreams and illusion and what makes sense and what you could bring into reality. But Jupiter and Pisces is telling you, dream as much as you want, but learn how to expand and go through learning experiences so you can see if these dreams or illusions would make sense or not. While that's happening, the moon, our emotional nature, is in the area of wanting to be more flexible, adaptable when it comes to communication, analyzation, that Gemini twin energy, which is going to have difficulty a square learning opportunity with Jupiter, because Jupiter is trying to expand dreams and illusion, while our emotions are trying to communicate, trying to be logical, and trying to understand people and things of that nature. Also, the South Node in Scorpio is going to be opposing the North Node in Taurus, and both of them, they're going to be squaring the Sun in Aqua. So the Sun in Aquarius right now is obviously making it pay attention to, is making us illuminate the area of life. And what we're illuminating the area of fixed air. How we're going to be fixated, rooted in our ways of communication, analyzation, for the sake of being revolutionary, for the sake of being inventive, for the sake of being abstract, and things of that nature. But the Sun in Aquarius, our point of view right now, it's squaring both the South Node and the North Node. Since the South Node and North Node are in a fixated signs too, our South Node wants us to let go of our deeply rooted emotions that's behind the scene 8th house, to go towards our North Node path, dealing with receiving that money, possession, earning ability. But both of them are squaring, going through learning opportunities when it comes to our association, how we communicate with the whole collective, how we could be inventive and things of that nature. So definitely watch out for where you have the Sun in which house, and where you have your South Node and the North Node in which house. On Thursday, February the 10th, 2022, the theme of that day is going to be emotionally connecting with our association, feeling our association, understanding our association on an emotional level. The moon is going to be in late degrees of Gemini, cusp in Cancer, but it's going to conjunct Lilith in Gemini. And we understand Lilith in Gemini. Lilith deals with and an emotion that could be misunderstood, or it could deal with the energy of darkness or evil. And when I say that, I don't mean that in a negative sense. I say that in the sense of that we might do those dark things that is underneath that nobody knows about due to some sort of emotion that we don't understand, because Lilith in Gemini could make you communicate for the sake of getting a reaction out of someone. And if you get a reaction out of someone, you may continue doing the same thing over and over and again. This is where Lilith in Gemini is pointing us towards, is pointing you towards that you don't have to do that. You could learn through that. You could understand your emotional reasoning for doing that, and that's how you could stop it. This is how actually you develop awareness, by understanding where Lilith is. Lilith is in Gemini, but also understanding which house do you have it in, because the house is going to show you the area of life where you're going to do this dark, underhanded, emotional thing where it comes to your communication and things of that nature. This is why it's important to know your houses. And when the moon in late degrees of Gemini conjuncting Lilith is going to make you heavily emotionally react towards communication, especially that dark area that you might utilize, which you shouldn't, because right now it's going to create learning opportunity for you. So it's really up to you. The moon in Gemini is going to be also trining the sun and Saturn in Aquarius. So while obviously we're paying attention to, we're illuminating the area of our externalizing our communication, analyzation for the sake of associating ourselves with other unique individual, and Saturn right there is making you mature and take responsibility and create limitation and structure for these things. That is creating opportunity for your emotional reactions dealing with Gemini, because right now you're emotionally reacting to being flexible, adaptable when it comes to communication, which is going to create opportunity for you to deal with your association much more better. Because when it comes to Aquarius energy, we could end up being so fixated, rooted in a thought or a way of going about something that we end up rebelling against our own association, rebelling against our own people. This is why Aquarius says they create different groups of people to hang out with and things of that nature. So that's going to be a nice air energy to teach us how to be more emotionally flexible when it comes to communication, analyzation, while we're paying attention to and maturing in the area of fixed air. The moon in Gemini is going to be also squaring Neptune and Pisces. So obviously we're going to be emotionally reacting towards communicating, being flexible, adaptable with the way we do it. But it's going to go through learning opportunity when it comes to Neptune, because Neptune right now is going to bring a lot of dreams and illusion. But where does this dreams and illusion come from? It comes from mutable water. It comes from how you're going to be flexible and adaptable when it comes to internalizing, receiving emotions, feelings, dreams, and illusions, and giving meaning and reason to these things, which right now we don't want to do that. We want to emotionally react to that Gemini energy. We want to be logical. We want to be communicative. We want to be flexible when it comes to that. But that's going to go through a learning opportunity, a square, which bring tension when it comes to understanding our dreams and illusions and all those la la land experiences that could bring angels, demons, ancestors, and things of that nature. On Friday, the 11th of February 2022, the moon is going to be in the late degrees of Gemini, cusp in Cancer, but it's going to be trining Jupiter. So the moon already went through Gemini, and right now it's in the early degrees of Cancer. This is why I said the theme of this day, at least for 2 days, is going to be emotionally connecting with our association. So we're going to be emotionally reacting towards initiating, giving birth to emotions and feelings when it comes to making ourselves feel comfortable, when it comes to our surrounding, family, domestic issues, and things of that nature. This is why it plays out through Cancer as them wanting to initiate some sort of feeling to control the vibe. And if they can't control the vibe, they're going to retract towards that crab shell to hide themselves, to make themselves feel comfortable. Cancers are the type of people that wear their heart on their sleeve. They're gonna tell you how they feel if you attempt to tell them how they feel. But Cancers deal with emotional intelligence. They could feel, they could understand you on an emotional level without even saying anything. This is why water signs are psychic to a certain extent. All the signs are, but they're psychic in almost different ways. So we're gonna be emotionally reactive towards initiating feelings and emotion to connect with our surroundings, to make ourselves feel comfortable. And Jupiter is naturally exalted in Cancer, so we like to give meaning and reasoning to these feelings and emotions and gain wisdom and knowledge through them. This is why Cancers can be seen as wise. But the moon in Cancer is gonna be trining Jupiter and Pisces. So this is a nice combination of energy. You're gonna be emotionally reacting towards making yourself feel comfortable, and and initiating those feelings and emotion, that's going to create opportunity for you to expand, learn when it comes to mutable water. How can you be more flexible, adaptable when it comes to your feelings and emotions, and understand the collective, and depending on which house you have it in is where you're gonna do it. For example, I have Jupiter and Pisces in my 4th house, so Jupiter wants me to expand, learn, achieve when it comes to being more flexible and adaptable when it comes to emotions and feelings in the area of home, family, the unconscious past. Understand these things, which I find really important, since I tend to have family issues, and Jupiter is bringing those bring a good experience. This is why Jupiter and Venus are considered as benefic, Mars and Saturn are considered as malefic. If you understand like medieval astrology and things of that nature, those are just names for them trying to describe the energy. So Jupiter and Pisces is going to bring the energy of wanting you to be more flexible when it comes to emotions and feeling, but the Moon in Cancer is going to make you maybe more forceful when it comes to your feelings and emotion. You have to make yourself feel comfortable. Learn how to balance these things, but since they're trying each other, you will develop emotional intelligence on Friday. But on Saturday the 12th, obviously the theme of the day is going to be the same thing, emotion reacting towards our association. The Moon is going to be in Cancer opposing Venus and Mars in Capricorn. So while we're emotionally reacting towards initiating feelings and emotion, creating that wave to control the vibe and make ourselves feel comfortable, that's going to go through major learning opportunities, which we might find very difficult when it comes to Venus loving, appreciating our status, our business, and what makes sense. Mars wants us to take passion. It wants us to be commanding. It wants us to go for these things, go time. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, so you're gonna really overwork yourself to climb the mountain and become the goat to achieve the material wealth. But while you're loving and appreciating and taking action, being passionate about your business and status, make sure that you know that you have the Moon in Cancer, your emotional nature. The Moon rules Cancer, so you're gonna be heavily in those things that make yourself feel comfortable. So learn how to balance out your home, family issues, your emotional natures, while obviously going for your work, being passionate about your business and status, because astrology is all about understanding our virtues and principles and learning how to match these things in our mind while they happen in heaven, while they're transiting the sky. This is why they say as above so below, as within so without. Also, the Moon in Cancer is going to be sextile Uranus in Taurus, so while we're emotionally reacting towards initiating feelings and emotion to make ourselves feel comfortable, they're seeing opportunity with Uranus in Taurus, because Uranus in Taurus are bringing those abrupt changes, those quantum mechanics, sudden changes when it comes to our material wealth. We might lose our job the next day, we might get fired the other day, we may our boss might cut our hours and things of that nature. But the Moon right now being in Cancer is seeing opportunity for you to achieve those originality when it comes to material wealth, because you're going to be heavily emotional. But if you know how to direct your emotional energy in which area, you could really profit out of your emotions, because it's very hard for us to go after things if we don't feel emotionally connected to it. And this is where the energy of the water signs or water houses sextiling earth signs come in, because water, if you look at the zodiac wheel, you're gonna always see that water signs sextile earth signs, unless they share the same modality, like Scorpio opposing Taurus. But if they're like Capricorn sextile Pisces, Capricorn sextile Scorpio sextile Virgo, and that water earth energy creates formation, it helps you to create and things of that nature. The earth energy brings the structure, responsibility, what makes sense, while water brings emotion, connection, and they work together to help you materialize what you care about. But also the Moon in Cancer is going to be trining Neptune and Pisces, so this is very similar to Jupiter and Pisces, but Neptune and Pisces can really send you off to the dream realm and things of that nature, while the Moon in Cancer is going to help you become more initiator, more forceful, more out there when it comes to your emotion, which is going to create opportunity for you to understand your dreams and illusions and things of that nature. On Sunday is going to be the beginning of the not the beginning of the full moon, but you're going to feel it, because the full moon is going to happen in the Monday. It's kind of crazy since Monday deals with the energy of the moon day itself. So on Sunday, 13th February 2022, the moon is going to be in the late degrees of Cancer, cusping Leo, opposing Pluto and Mercury in Capricorn. And we understand that Mercury right now went through its retrogradation and is done retrograding, is ready to move forward. So we really transformed our way of thinking, our train of thought when it comes to creating restrictions and boundaries when it comes to achieving that material wealth that we would like to receive. You might even have felt scared, you might have felt worried, nervous, because Pluto is almost like the black hole energy that you don't know what could happen. But with the opposing energy to the moon in Cancer, us heavily reacting towards our emotions and feelings, cusping Leo, bringing the energy of expressing that determined, fixated intuition, imagination, that stage energy, that flamboyant energy is gonna go through major learning opportunity when it comes to transforming our business and thinking about our business, because Pluto and Mercury are in Capricorn and they're gonna be opposing the moon in Cancer. So you wanna definitely start with the point of view that you want to transform your Pluto, your business, your status, and then work from that point and understand your train of thought right now is helping you do that. Mercury, Tehuti, Hermes, but make sure your emotions, your feelings are not getting in the way. That's what I'm trying to say. The moon is going to be in late degrees of Cancer, trining Neptune in Pisces, and the south node in Scorpio. So this is that we're going to have a nice water triune before we go to this full moon. So this water triune is going to deal with you, your emotions, want to initiate feelings and emotion to feel connected. It was a great opportunity for you to understand those dreams and illusion, which could be very expansive, very mutable in nature, which is going to be also creating opportunities for you to understand those deep rooted emotion in your south node in Scorpio, your 8th house. So this water triune energy is going to really help you live in that emotional, feeling, dreamy world, but also understand your own feelings from all perspective. You understand your feelings and emotions from the dream realm perspective. You understand your feelings and emotion from what you need to detach from, fixated, rooted emotions, Scorpio, the 8th house. But you're also understanding how to be more action-based and initiate your feelings, trying to take control of the vibe. So this is a really nice energy of water triune energy. Just know which houses you have it in. And we're gonna have the full moon in 13 degrees of Leo starting on Sunday, but you're gonna feel the full effect on Monday. So definitely watch out for that and know which house you have it in. And I know I'm gonna have the full moon in my 9th house because I have the sun right on my 3rd house. So you guys can find out your houses. And thank you guys for listening.